Hello dear students, welcome to the class on drugs acting on uterus part 2. So in this class we will be going to learn about the role of ergot alkaloids on uterus. So coming to the specific learning objectives for today's session. So at the end of this session you should be able to describe the various actions of ergometrin. You should be able to explain the pharmacokinetics of ergometrin. You should be able to describe the adverse effects and contraindications of ergometrin. And lastly, you should be able to describe the uses of ergometrin. So coming to the role of ergot alkaloids on uterus. So which are the ergot alkaloids which are useful on uterus? You should remember, among ergot alkaloids, only the amine ergot alkaloids are used as drugs on uterus. Those are, first one is ergometrin, and second one is its derivative methyl ergometrin, which is also, and this ergometrin is also known as ergonovin. So only the amine ergot alkaloids are used, ergometrin and its derivative methyl ergometrin. So coming to the actions of ergometrin on uterus. On the uterus, it causes contraction of the uterus. So it increases the force of contraction as well as frequency of contraction, and also it increases the duration of contraction. So whereas if you remember the oxytocin, if you remember 4F, it was also increasing the force, it was also increasing the frequency of contraction. Mainly it was contracting the fundus and the body, and one more F is it was causing full relaxation of the lower segment. Whereas one point you should remember with respect to the ergometrin on uterus on contraction is they are going to contract even the lower segment. So even the lower segment is contracted. So thereby, which is preferred for induction. This is the reason for oxytocin is preferred in case of induction of labor as well as uterine inertia. So these ergometrin is more sensitive in case of gravid uterus, and also the sensitivity will be high during term and also during the early puerperium. And also remember, depending upon the dose, at low doses it produces, with respect to contraction and doses, it produces phasic contraction with normal relaxation. At moderately higher doses, they increases the basal tone, whereas oxytocin basal tone was increased at high dose. At higher doses it produces contracture. And also you should remember, so uterotonic action which is produced by ergotamine, that is mechanism, is mainly due to the partial agonistic action on 5-HT2 and also on alpha receptors. The uterotonic action, that is the contraction of the uterus due to the ergometrin, is mainly due to the partial agonistic action on 5-HT2, that is serotonin, as well as the alpha receptor. So coming to the ergometrin action on CVS, it has got weak vasoconstrictor action, so thereby it has got less damaging potential on endothelium. So thereby, even though occasionally it can increase blood pressure, it is not significant. On the CNS, at usual dose, it has no such adverse effect except for at the higher doses. On the GIT, it increases the gastrointestinal tract peristalsis. So coming to the difference between the methyl ergometrin and ergometrin, this methyl ergometrin, which is a derivative of ergometrin, is 1.5 times more potent, 1.5 times more potent than the ergometrin, and also the actions are less marked. Because of this reason, the methyl ergometrin is preferred in many of the obstetric conditions. So coming to the pharmacokinetics of ergot alkaloids. So in contrast to the amine acid ergot alkaloids, this ergometrin as well as methyl ergometrin are rapidly absorbed and they show near complete absorption through oral route. So based on the route of administration, will decide the onset of uterine action. So when it is given through oral route, the onset of action will be within 15 minutes. It takes 15 minutes. Through IM route, it takes 5 minutes. Whereas through intravenous route, the action is immediate. Almost immediate. So it is metabolized through liver and getting excreted through urine. And T-off of ergot alkaloids, here the ergometrin and methyl ergometrin are 1 to 2 hours. If you remember, what was the half-life of oxytocin? The half-life was around 6 to 12 minutes, whereas ergometrin half-life is around 1 to 2 hours and the action lasts for 3 to 4 hours. So coming to the adverse effects of ergometrin. So usually if this is used carefully, there won't be, you will not see any side effects will be seen. Occasionally you can see nausea, vomiting, and occasionally it can increase the blood pressure. You should be very careful in case of hypertensive women. So that's why if any condition where you require ergometrin in a woman with a pregnant condition, you can use oxytocin in place of ergometrin if a pregnant woman is having hypertension. Apart from that, any use for longer duration, if ergometrin, if used for longer duration, it can lead to decrease in the milk secretion. secretion. So what will be the reason? So because of the use of high dose for longer duration of time, it can lead to decrease in the milk secretion because of dopaminergic action. These dopaminergic action will inhibit the prolactin release, so thereby inhibiting milk secretion. Is it clear? So coming to the conditions where you need to avoid ergometrin use, you should avoid if the patient is having any vascular disease, or if the patient is having any hypertension, or if the patient has toxemia symptoms, and also if there is a sepsis, you need to avoid because it can lead to gangrene formation, and also if there is a liver disease or liver or kidney disease, you need to avoid it. So which are the conditions where ergometrin is contraindicated? So in case of pregnancy, it is contraindicated, and also remember, before, the word before is very important, before the third stage of labor. Why means the reason, this ergotamine also contracts the lower uterine segment. So if you contract that, it will lead to fetal distress and fetal asphyxia leading to death. So coming to the uses of ergometrin and methyl ergometrin, it is mainly indicated in prevention and also control and treatment of, also used for control, prevention, and also the treatment of PPH, and also used for in case of uterine atony, and also for rapid normal involution of the uterus. Coming to the postpartum hemorrhage, it is used for control, prevention as well as treatment of postpartum hemorrhage. So reason being, if there is a increased risk of bleeding, we'll be using ergometrin because of the strong uterine contraction. The dose will be 0.2 to 0.3 milligram. It will be given through intramuscular route when he will give at delivery of, remember, anterior shoulder, at the delivery of the anterior shoulder. So thereby it reduces the blood loss. In whom you need to give this ergometrin? In high risk conditions like women who are grand multipara and with uterine inertia. Before injecting, you need to exclude the multiple pregnancy, because multiple pregnancy is a major complication associated with postpartum hemorrhage. And also in case of uterine atony after cesarean section or instrumental delivery, you can use this drug to prevent the postpartum hemorrhage due to uterine atony. And also you can use this drug for rapid involution of the uterus, rapid involution of the uterus, where you will be using 0.125 milligram of ergometrin, or you can use methyl ergometrin given orally thrice a day for 7 days. Especially it is indicated in case of, again, multi-para and other women who are showing slow involution of uterus. These are the 3 indications for using ergometrin as well as methyl ergometrin. If PPH has occurred already, you can give ergometrin 0.5 milligram IV. If severe bleeding is there, you can combine with oxytocin. You can give oxytocin 5 international unit along with ergometrin. What will be the benefit? Here it will going to compress. It will going to compress the perforating arteries between the myometrial meshwork, thereby bleeding stops. So coming to the one more use which is not used nowadays and is also risky for diagnosis of variant angina, where you will be using very small dose of ergometrin when you will be using. So what will be the route of administration? IV during coronary angiography, which will prompt the constriction of reactive segments of coronary artery. So when you give small dose of ergometrin IV during coronary angiography, it will prompt the constriction of reactive segment of coronary artery, which are responsible for variant angina. So coming to the summary, these ergot alkaloids, so you will be using a amine acid alkaloids. 2 of them are ergometrin and its derivative methyl ergometrin. Why you are not using ergotamine? Ergotamine is more toxic, so that's why you are not using ergotamine. So on the uterus, it produces forceful contraction, it increases the frequency of contraction, and also it increases the duration of contraction. And also you should remember, it will also contract the lower uterine segment, and it is very sensitive towards gravid uterus and also during the term. So what is the major mechanism for producing contraction? It is due to the partial agonistic activity on the 5-HT2 and the alpha receptors, and also on the blood vessel CVS, it produces weak vasoconstriction which is not significant, and also with respect to GIT, it increases the peristalsis. So coming to the pharmacokinetic action, so action depends on the route of administration, oral route, IM, IV, The action will be seen within 15 minutes. Here IM it takes 5 minutes. Here it is almost immediate action. And the plasma T off is around 1 to 2 hours, whereas oxytocin was 6 to 12 minutes. 6 to 12 minutes. And what are the adverse effects which are associated with ergotamine? It can cause nausea, it can cause vomiting, it can increase blood pressure occasionally, and sometimes long duration of use can lead to decrease in the milk secretion. It is mainly due to the dopaminergic action which inhibits the prolactin release, thereby it decreases milk secretion. So, and also you should avoid in case of patient with hypertension and also toxemia, and also patient with sepsis, any vascular disease, and also with liver and kidney disease. And it is contraindicated in case of pregnancy and also before third stage of labor. So where it is indicated, mainly in case of postmortem hemorrhage, to prevent, to control, to prevent as well as to treat postmortem hemorrhage, in case of treating uterine atony, complications due to uterine atony, and also for involution, for rapid involution of the uterus, especially in the multi-para, as well as those patients who are having slow involution of the uterus, and also uterine atony due to after cesarean section as well as instrumental delivery. And also PPH is mainly due to the forceful contraction which will contract the meshwork, myometrial meshwork, thereby it compress the arteries between the myometrial meshwork. So these are the uses. Thank you.